Is getting into full splits one of your aspirations? Well, here is a quick practice for you to lengthen and strengthen your hamstrings. If full splits is not your goal, even then this is a great practice for your hamstrings and your hip muscles and to strengthen your lower part of the body. We do need a block for the practice because it will be of great help if this is not one of the asanas that you do on a regular basis. It is considered an advanced asana, so please be patient with yourself and consistent with yourself with your practice. Strengthen and lengthen your hamstrings on a regular basis and you will be able to go into full splits. And as always, please make this practice your own. Take it at your own pace and modify and do your editing in any which way that suits you. Please do let me know your thoughts and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll see you on the mat. We shall begin our practice in downward facing dog. Work towards bringing both your heels down towards the mat. Next breath, point your right foot, lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hips. Work towards bringing your heels closer to your glutes and pointing your knee up towards the sky. Next breath, square your hips down towards the mat, knee to your chest, coming into a plank. Plant your right foot outside of your right palm, left foot outside of your left palm and sit into Malasana, front of the mat. Bring your hands alongside your ears and use your core strength to come into a full standing position. Heel toe, bring your feet directly underneath your hips, palms come to chest. Next in breath, engage your core, tuck your tailbone, float your heels off the mat, sweep your arms up towards the sky, fold forward. Halfway lift and pause at your halfway lift. Slowly start shifting your weight towards the ball mounts of your feet. If you can slightly float your heels off the mat, that will be helpful too. You should feel the fire building up in your hamstrings. Lengthen the back of your neck and open your sit bones towards the back end of your mat. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can bring your hands alongside your ears and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Fold back. Halfway lift, plant your palms, step back into plank, flow through Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Float your left leg, point your left foot, bend your left knee, stack your hips, square your hips back to the mat, bring your left knee into chest, plant your left foot on the outside of your left palm, followed by your right foot on the outside of the right palm and sit into Malasana. Bring your hands alongside your ears, use your core strength, squeeze your glutes, come into a standing position. Heel toe, bring your feet directly underneath your hips, palms come to chest. Float your heels, sweep your arms all the way up, fold back forward. Halfway lift, pause. Shift your weight towards the ball mounts of the feet, open your sit bones towards the back end of the mat. Extra challenge, bring your hands alongside your ears. Feel the fire build up in your hamstrings. Fold forward. Frame your feet, step or hop back and flow through your Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Float your right leg up, three-legged dog. Open your hips, square back, right knee to chest. Plant your right foot outside of your right palm, left foot outside of the left palm, sit into Malasana, palms to chest. Bring your palms alongside your ears, engage your core, come into a stand, heel toe and bring your feet directly underneath your hips, palm to chest. Float your heels, Sweep your arms all the way up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Weight comes onto the ball mounts of your feet and bring your hands alongside your ears. And pause. Forward fold. Frame your feet. Hop or travel back through plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Left leg floats. Stack your hips. Square your hips back to the mat. Left knee to chest. Plant your left foot on the outside of your left palm. Right foot on the outside of your right palm. Sit into Malasana. Bring your hands alongside your ears. Squeeze your glutes. Stand all the way up. Heel toe and bring your feet directly underneath your hips. Come into Tadasana. Float your heels. Sweep your arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift and pause. Shift your weight to the ball mounts of the feet. Extra challenge to bring your hands alongside your ears. Keep the back of your neck long and pause. Fold forward. Frame your feet. Float through Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Three-legged dog. Right knee to chest. Plant your right foot in between your palms. Bring your back knee down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. And low lunge. Keep sinking your left hip down towards the mat and open your chest. You can rest your palms over your right thigh if that helps. Engage your core. Shift your hips back. Lengthen your right leg. Flex your right foot. Toes point out towards the sky and fold forward. Your fold is coming from your hips, not by rounding your back. Reach forward through the crown of your head and every exhale work towards bringing your chest closer to your thigh. Next, out breath, shift forward, low lunge. Bring your hands alongside your ears. Add a back bend just to warm up your upper body. Open your chest up towards the sky. Extend your hands. Extend your right leg. Flex your right foot. Point your right toes up towards the sky. Fold forward from your hips. Half splits. Low lunge. Open your chest up towards the sky. Extend your hands. Shift back. Half splits. Reach through the crown of your head and pull up on the kneecap of your right leg. Last one. Come back into low lunge. Open your chest up towards the sky, and if you want to add an extra challenge, press through the top of your left leg, left foot, and float your left knee off the mat. You should feel your left quad lengthen in this. Release. Back into half splits, and this time hold your half splits. Every exhale, try to bring your chest closer to your extended leg. If you want to go deeper into this, shift all the way back. Bring your sit bones on the inside of your left foot and square your chest to the front of the mat. Lengthen your spine and fold forward. Keep your right leg active. Pull up on the kneecap. Keep the back of your neck long. Keep reaching through the crown of your head. Release. Come back up. Shift forward into your low lunge. Plant your left palm on the inside of your right leg and open your chest towards the elongate side of the mat. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. If you want to take a quad stretch, bend your back knee, grab hold of your back foot, and you can, if your right foot turns out, make sure that your knee follows your right toes. Keep sinking your left hip down towards the mat and open your chest. Rotate your right shoulder up towards the sky. Release back into low lunge. Frame your front foot. Bring your right shin parallel to the short edge of the mat and sit bones come down. Coming into a pigeon. You can stay all the way up here or slowly walk your hands out and fold forward into your pigeon. Keep squaring your hips down towards the mat. Don't let your left hip lift up. And don't hold any tension in the back of your neck. Shoulders are moving away from your ears and lengthen the back of your neck. Keep pressing through your left foot. Come back up. You can go deeper into your pigeon by bending your back leg. Work your left foot to your left elbow crease and bind your hands behind your head. Open your chest. Release your bind. Plant your palm. Tuck your back toes. Come to plank. Flow through Chaturanga. Upward dog. Shift back. Downward facing dog. Float your left leg. Three-legged dog. Bring your left knee into chest. Plant your left foot in between your palms. Back knee comes down. Untuck your back toes. Plant your palms over your left thigh and start to sink your hips down towards the mat. You should feel that opening on your right quad. Keep pressing your hip down towards the mat. Shift your hips back. Lengthen your left leg. Flex your left foot. Hinge from your hips. Fold forward into half splits. Shift forward. Bring your hands alongside your ears. Open your chest up towards the sky. Cactus your arms. Shift back. Half splits. Low lunge. Cactus arms. Shift back. Half splits. Keep your left leg active by pulling up on your kneecap and hinging from your hips, not by rounding your back. Last one. Come back into low lunge. Cactus your arms. If you want to add an extra challenge, float your back knee off the mat. Press through the top of your right foot. And hold. Release. Shift back half splits and hold your half splits. Pause here for few breaths. Hinge from your hips and keep your leg active. If you want to take this deeper, bring your sit bones on the inside of your right foot. Square your chest towards the front of the mat. Lengthen your spine and fold forward. Release back up. Shift forward. Low lunge. Plant your right palm on the inside of your left foot. Take a twist. Keep shifting your hips down towards the mat. Bend your back knee. Grab your back foot and rotate your top shoulder up towards the sky. Release. Bring your left shin parallel to the short edge of the mat and come into pigeon. You can stay up here or walk your palms and fold forward. Breathe into your belly. Keep the back of your neck long. Shoulders are moving away from your ears. Press through the top of your back foot. If you want, you can lift the knee off of the mat. Lift back up. Bend your back leg. Work your right foot on the inside to the inside of your right elbow crease and bind your palms behind your head. release, step back plank, flow through chaturanga, upward dog, lift back, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Bring your right knee into your chest. Plant your right foot in between your palms. Come up, high crescent lunge. Arms alongside your ears. Squeeze your inner thighs. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Engage your core. Palms come to your waist. Pop your back foot a step closer. Extend both your legs. Make sure that your hips are squared towards the front of the mat. Lengthen your spine. Fold forward into pyramid. From here we will take a flow. Lift your back heel, shift forward and release your back heel down to the mat. Lift your front toes. All this still staying in your pyramid fold. Shift forward, lift your back heel, shift back, lift your front toes. Forward, lifting your back heel, shift back, lifting your front toes. Keep both your legs active by pulling up on the kneecap. Shift forward, lifting your back heel, shift back, lift your front toes, release back into complete pyramid and fold. From here, shift your weight forward, float your back leg and transition into standing splits. Pull your left knee into chest. Slowly come all the way up into one-legged Tadasana. Grab hold of your left big toe with your two peace fingers. Work your left knee to the outside of your left hip. You can stay here or extend your left leg and hold. Release. Back to one-legged Tadasana. Bring your left heel behind. Grab hold of your left foot from the inside with your left hand. Kick into your left hand and come into your dancers. Shift forward. Tadasana. Float your left leg all the way back. Warrior 3. High crescent lunge. Flow through chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Shift back. Downward facing dog. Float your left leg. Three-legged dog. Plant your left foot in between your palms. High crescent lunge. Arms alongside your ears. Palms to your waist. Extend both your legs. Pop your back foot one step closer. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Fold forward into pyramid. Keep both of your legs active. Pull up on the kneecaps. We'll take that short flow from here. Shift your weight forward by floating your back heel. Still keeping in your pyramid. Shift back, float your front toes. Shift forward, lift your back heel. Shift back, float your front toes. One more time. Release both your feet onto the mat and fold forward into a complete pyramid. Shift your weight forward, float your back leg into a standing splits. Right knee into chest. Come all the way up, one-legged Tadasana. Grab hold of your right big toe with your two peace fingers. Work your right knee on the outside of your right hip. Hold here. If you want to add a challenge, you can extend your right leg and pause. Come back, one-legged Tadasana. Float your right leg back. Come back, one-legged Tadasana. Grab hold on the inside of your right foot with your right hand behind you and kick into your right hand, transition into a dancer's. Come back to one-legged Tadasana. Flow through a warrior 3. Step back, flow through Chaturanga. Upward dog, downward facing dog. Float right leg up, three-legged dog. Plant your right foot on the outside of your right hand, come into a lizard. Stay up on the palms or bring your forearms down onto the mat. Keep working your back knee up, leg active. Come back onto the palms. Bring your back knee down onto the mat, untuck your toes. Shift back into this half split variation where your right foot is on the outside of your right palm. Come back into lizard. Frame your front foot. Grab your block, keep it close to you. Shift back into half splits from here. Stay here in your half splits, or you can extend both your legs and sink into your full splits. Use your block underneath your right leg at whichever height that suits you today and work your full splits. If you want to open your hamstrings deeper, walk your hands and fold forward over your front leg. Lift back up, shift back into half splits, move your block out of the way, tuck your back toes, low lunge, floating your back knee, shift back into plank, downward dog, lift your left leg, three-legged dog, plant your left foot on the outside of your left palm, lizard lunge, come down onto forearms, optional. Lift back up onto your palms, bring your back knee down, untuck your toes, shift back into half split variation, left foot outside of the left hand. Shift forward, frame your front foot, shift back, half splits. Optional from here to sink into your full splits, use your block if needed. I seem to be quite open on this side. Ooh, no, need a block. You can fold forward onto your extended front leg if that is an option that you want to take. This just deepens your hamstring opening. Release up, come back into half splits, move your block, bring both your knees down onto the mat, cross your legs and come into a seated position. Bring the soles of your feet together. You can have your heels closer to your inner thighs or away from you. Work towards bringing your knees down on towards the mat. Lengthen your spine, hinge from your hips, fold forward in your butterfly. Pay attention to working your shoulders away from your ears here and lengthening your back of your neck. You're pulling your torso in two opposite directions. So reaching through the crown of your head forward and bringing your sit bones down onto the mat. So you're stretching your torso in two opposite directions. Come back up. Come all the way down onto the mat. Optional back bend and a plow to end your practice. If you're taking your back bend, lift up your hips, weight is on your heels, bring your palms on the outside of your ears. Exhale, push all the way up into a back bend. release from your back bend. Hug your knees into your chest, roll side to side. Support your lower back and bring your hips to stack directly over your shoulders. Point your feet. Come into a shoulder stand. Bend your knees, bring your knees to your forehead, extend your legs, transitioning into a plow. Work your hips directly over your shoulders. Knees are moving away from your face. Pretend to push something towards your back wall with your heels. Release your plow and we'll end our practice in Shavasana. Take a deep breath, release all your muscles. You did wonderful. You should be very proud of yourself. Whenever you're ready, roll on to one side and slowly come back to seated. I hope you enjoyed that practice, felt that deep opening in your hamstrings and in your hips. It's a great practice, and if you're consistent and if you keep coming back to the practice on a regular basis, you'll sure be able to do your full splits in no time. Also, this is an amazing practice if you are a runner. It helps to release your hips, and that constant pounding on the ground that you do during your running, it helps to loosen up those muscles, give them a space to breathe, and also it strengthens the hamstrings and lengthens it, so you'll be better at your running too. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you on the mat next time.